Hello friends, today I am going to solve a Geeks for Geeks problem of the day of 15 June. The problem stated we have given a 2D array of size n cross m consisting of 0 and 1, and we are at the top of the top left cell and initially move in the right direction. While traversing into the matrix, we need to follow two rules. One, if the current cell contains 0, we move in the same direction. If the current cell contains 1, we need to change the direction in the clockwise turn. Okay, and we need to update the cell value to the 0. After continue the process until you move out. So we need to continue this process until we come outside of the boundary of the matrix, and our task is to determine the coordinates of the last cell from which you exit the matrix. Okay, so let's say this is the 2D matrix we have given, and currently I am here, and we are currently on the air. We are moving in the right direction. Okay, so the problem stated is this value contains the 0. So what I need to do, I need to move in the same direction. Okay, otherwise if this value contains 1, I need to take a clockwise turn. For if this cell contains 1, then I should move in the clockwise turn, that is right direction. Okay, but initially we have 0, so I move to the right direction and we reach it here. Okay, after reaching this point, I found that this cell value contains 1. So instead of moving into this direction, what I will do, I will move into this direction. Okay, and again I found that this cell also contains the value 1. So instead of moving from this cell to the downward, what I need to do, I need to take the left turn, that is clockwise turn. Okay, so I reached here. As after reaching this cell, I found that this cell contains the value 0. So what I need to do, I will move in the same direction, and I reach outside of the boundary. And if I reach it outside of the boundary, so what I need to return, I need to return the coordinate of this cell from which we goes out of the boundary. Okay, so the coordinate of this one is, this is the first row and 0th column, so I need to return the 1 comma 0. So okay, so how we can do it? So let's do it. So the first direction we have already given, that we are moving in the right direction. Okay, and if we are currently in the top left cell, that is 0 comma 0 coordinate. Okay, and let's say while, okay, and I need to pick in which cell I am moving. So let's say our direction is right. Okay, if our direction is right, what I need to choose, I will check if the current cell value is 0. If the current cell value is 0 and I am already moving from right direction, so what I will do, I will move in the same direction. So to move in the same direction, what I need to do, I only need to update the column by 1. Okay, so let me update here column value plus 1. But if this is the not the case, if the current cell value contains the value 1, so what I need to do, I need to update the value by 0, and let's say I am in the right direction, and if this cell value contains the value 1 here. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to move in the down direction. So I need to upgrade only the row value, not column. Okay, so let me update the row value, and also need to update the direction as we are now going toward the down direction. Okay, so this is the case, and okay, but and we similarly do for all fourth direction, that if my direction is not right, let's say my direction is left one, or let's say we are moving toward the down one, let's say my direction is down. Okay, so if I move towards the down, okay, so if my current cell contains the value 0, so I need to move into the same direction. And if I am moving into the same direction, let's say 0, my cell contains 0, I need to move into the same direction. So what I need to do, I only need to update the row value. Okay, so let's update here row by 1. Else, if the cell contains the value 1, as like here, so what we need to do, we need to take a clockwise turn. Okay, right direction in. So we, as moving from this cell to this cell, so I am just decreasing the column by 1. Okay, so before doing this, we are updating the value of current cell to the 0, and we need to decrease the value of the column, and now we need to update the direction by left as we are moving toward the left direction. Okay, and similarly for let me decrease the font size so our code comes into the slide. Okay, so if now we have write the code for the right direction, we have write code for the down direction, so let's write for the code for the left direction. Now we are moving towards the left direction. So let's say if I am moving into the left direction, so what I need to do, if my current cell contains the value 0, so what I will do, I only need to update the column value, so I will decrease its value by 1. Okay, but if this is not the case, so I need to update my row current cell value by 0, and after doing this, if my current cell contains 1, so I need to take a clockwise turn. For this, let's say my this value contains 1, and I am currently here, come from this direction. Okay, so let's stop. Let's say this value contains 1, and I come from this to this direction. We are moving to the leftward direction, and after moving this direction, my cell contains 1. So what I need to do, I need to take a left clockwise turn. So I will move my direction to the up side. Okay, so let's update the direction up, and I will need to here decrease the row by 1 to move into the top up side cell. Okay, and so we also done for this case. What I need to do here now, we need to write here the code for the up direction. So let's me again decrease the font size of it. So we need to so our current cell is up. Okay, and if I am moving in the up direction, okay, if I am moving in the up direction and my current cell value contains 0. So if I am moving into the up direction, so what I am doing, I am doing, I am decreasing the value of row by 1. So let's here decrease the value of row by 1. Okay, but if this is not the case, so what I need to do, I will update my current cell value 0, and I need to take on this clockwise turn, that is this direction. Okay, so for doing this, I update my direction by left, and I will need to update the column value by 1. So this is the case. So how many times we need to do this? We need to do this until we are in the inside the boundary of the matrix. So we can write here the case if row value is greater than or equal to 0, and then row value, row coordinate is less than n, and then column value is less than equal to 0, and then column value is less than m. Okay, so we here write that int n is equal to mat dot size, and int m is equal to mat of 0 dot size. Okay, so after doing such operation, if we move outside of the boundary, let's say in this case we are moving from this direction, and our row value becomes what? Our row becomes 1 and cell value becomes -1. So this is the case. Okay, so how can, but I need to return this value. So how can I track my previous cell from which I am coming from? So what I can do, I can take two variables to track the previous cell. So here in my case, I am declaring two variable previous row and previous column. Okay, and in the while loop, before doing any operation, I am going to update my previous row with the row value and previous column value by call value. At the last, I am returning the previous row and previous column. So let's go into the code panel. So here currently we are in the right direction. Here I declared two variables, two row and column, and n is the size representing the row, and m is the representing the total numbers of the column. And here we declare two variables to track the previous cell. and here let me spend all these one. So here we are doing the same operation that we are updating the previous file, previous row and previous column variables value, and if this is the direction case for right one, this is for the left one. Okay, and similarly for this up direction, this is the case, and this is for right one, this becomes for left one, and this becomes for up. So this becomes for the down direction. Okay, and at the last we are returning the previous row and previous column by, as we need to take the vector int, so we are returning it by using this curly braces. Okay, so let's compile and run. So till this code is running, executing, I have updated this code here. You can find its solution from this application. Okay, you can check it out. I have already updated the code solution of the today's problem here. You can check it out, and yes, you can check that our output is correct, and if we submit it, it is submitted. Okay, yeah, so you can check it from here, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, it motivates a lot. Yeah, here the solution for, I already updated this one, you can check it. Okay, thank you.